Hey guys, Jaime back with another life update. So a long time ago I made a video in which I show myself getting accepted into the Georgia Tech Online Masters of Computer Science. And it's a really cool program because it's cheap. You know, my company was going to pay for it, or the company that I work for, not my company, but they were going to pay for it. And I was really excited because I wanted to be a computer scientist. But things have changed. So I actually, now I'm enrolled in a new master's, a physical master's here at UCSB for management. But back then I believed I wanted to be a computer scientist. So I want to walk you through today the 3 reasons why the program wasn't for me and why I ended up dropping out twice. So there were 2 quarters where I actually dropped out and why I had to drop out. So this program is cool. I already spoke about it. It's cheap, but I had to drop it because when I first enrolled in this class, they recommend that you only apply or take 1 class. So the max is 2 classes, but being the person that I am, I wanted to finish quicker. So I took 2 classes and that was a no-no. So one of the mistakes was that my period to enroll in classes opened up while I was at work. So logically, I can't sign into my classes or get my classes. I ended up getting 1 class that was an intro class, a master's computer science intro class. But the other one, which I shouldn't have taken, was an advanced class. It was one of the classes that you take right before you graduate. And my background is not in computer science, it's in electrical engineering. But I like to be challenged, and I thought I wanted to be a computer scientist because my ultimate goal is to become a technical manager. So I want to learn a little bit more about mechanical, electrical, and computer science. So that was, to me, logically the next step. And I signed up. The first class was pretty easy. I was about 2 weeks in. The first class was easy. The other class was not easy at all. It was super advanced, and I was spending literally every single minute that I had working on the class, and I just couldn't get it until the first project came, and they asked me to create my own compiler, which to many people that might be straightforward, but to me that wasn't. I was kind of overwhelmed. I went on the internet, I searched, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. I was pretty desperate at the time. So then I started looking into their cancellation or their withdrawal policy. And it says in the fine print that you can withdraw from 1 class. But if you withdraw from 1 class, you don't get a refund. You have to withdraw from the entire semester. So I was faced with the decision to either drop 1 class and not get a refund, or drop 2 classes. And I thought about it, and I ended up dropping both classes. So there it goes. That's my first semester. I was pretty pumped. I was pretty disappointed, but whatever, we'll get them next time. But as that semester went on, after I had already dropped it, I started learning more and more about what I really wanted to do at work, which is just manage in general. I like big picture stuff. Like Michael Scott, he likes big picture stuff.
I have a complaint about Jim. That is not big picture.
And the second semester came along, and again I made the same mistake. I took 2 classes, but this time it was 1 regular class and another regular class, so 2 regular classes. And it was pretty doable, the workload was doable. But then I realized that the way I learn and the way I get motivated is by talking to people, coworkers, classmates, Zooms with people. It was mandatory Zooms, not optional Zooms with people you're never going to meet in your entire life. That time came to make a decision, and again, I was about 3 weeks in, and I had to think about it a lot. So I spoke to my boss's boss actually, and I spoke with him and I said, hey, I'm getting my master's sponsored by you guys. I feel really bad dropping it. It's not the kind of person that I think I am. And he told me this, which I think it's one of the best, some of the best advice I've ever received. So he said, what do we do here? And where I work, it's R&D. So R&D stands for research and design. And I said, research and design. And he said, okay, so think about your experience with this online class as R&D. And it didn't work out. So drop it. So that made me feel a lot better. That same day, or that same week, I believe, I dropped the class, the course, the degree, and I ended up dropping it. I found another degree. The UCSB, it's local, so it's physical. And that's what I'm doing now. So the reasons why I dropped this, to summarize, I took 2 courses at first, so I recommend you don't do that. I ended up having a shift in career, so not computer science, but more management, and online. That was a big one for me. For me, I like interaction. That's why I'm talking to something right now. You know, when you're on the computer trying to learn, there's no talking, right? It's reading, listening, reading, listening. There's no talking. And you could, I guess, if you made an effort to meet these random people, but you don't have the time to socialize with them because your schedules don't overlap. It's people from across the world, not just California. It's the East Coast. Even the East Coast is a 3-hour difference. Just imagine somebody in Spain, for example, or in China, for example. That's extreme. So I hope you take this advice. The professors were good. It was pre-recorded, but they were good. But unfortunately, it wasn't the right time for me. I don't think it will ever be the right time for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment or reach out. I had somebody who called me, or actually he messaged me on LinkedIn. He saw the video, my first video, and I ended up calling him. He was a nice guy. But feel free to reach out. With that being said, see you guys later. Goodbye, guys.